like, did they put crack in this? Did they put crack? Did they put crack in my edible? It was my friend. I started getting paranoid about her for this broken tub so we could get killed. And in my head, I felt like I was trapped in my body. Like there was a high version of me and there was a not high version of me. But in real life, my body did this. So I was sitting up, but my body was doing. Mary Jane. Do you love me, Mary Jane? So today, I want to talk about my edible experience. It was an experience. So if that's something you want to hear about, stay tuned. If not, click off now. Do you love me, Mary Jane? Don't you play no, yeah. So I'd like to preface this video by I don't condone or discourage. It's strictly up to you and your doctor if you're in Oklahoma. And yeah, or if you're in a recreational state, but I do not condone or discourage the use of Mary Jane, cannabis, any of that. It's got to be up to you. Just know that some names and titles of people might change to keep everyone's privacy intact for this. So a few years ago, we were going to South Padre, and South Padre is a place we pretty much go every year, give or take. And going to South Padre, me, my husband, and a few friends, we got an Airbnb and we were gonna drive down. I think we drove down in 2 different times and we left at different times. So planning for the trip, I have a really hard time with like relaxing. I always drive. Like I'm always the person that's gonna drive the full way of the trip. If it's a 12-hour trip, whatever the trip is, I usually am the one that drives, and I have a really hard time relaxing to go to sleep, so that way I can kind of get myself together so we can have fun on the vacation. So I had this bright idea: edibles. My husband, he does not like smoking. I'm not a person that consumes Mary Jane or weed, but kind of at that time, edibles in my state had kind of taken off, and everybody was talking about how they loved edibles. And so I was like, well, let me see how it would help me with relaxation. I never really got into smoking weed because, again, my husband, he's not into it, and he doesn't want to be with someone that smokes weed. So I was like, I could do an edible and not smoke. So I told my friend, who is also coming with us on the trip, I said, hey, can you get me some edibles for the trip? I really just want to use them to relax. I'm relax and go to sleep, not necessarily to, you know, turn up. So she said yes. I cashed after the money. All good. So when it comes to the day to leave, she has it packed in her bag. I checked with her. We're on the road. Side note, look at my edges. But anyways, we go on the road. It's her, me, and my husband that are going to leave first from Oklahoma. And then we're going to get to the Airbnb first in South Padre. And then the rest of our friends are going to meet us there. So the whole way, I think I pretty much drove the whole way there, give or take. I'm a big driver again. We got to the Airbnb. The Airbnb was beautiful, beautiful Airbnb. And the Airbnb had like multiple floors, full balcony. It even, I know it had a rooftop. I can't remember if it had a swimming pool. I don't think it had a swimming pool. But me and my husband, we took the master suite because we got there first. And so I was like, oh wow, like we about to kick it. So I waited till my husband went to the room to set up and get everything together. And I was talking to my friend and I said, hey friend, do you have that? And she was like, yes. So we went to the kitchen. She pulled them out of her bag. And I want to say they were Rice Krispie treats. And so she was adamant. She said, cut a sliver, like a sliver out of it. And she was like, you'll be good to go. And I was like, good, I'm about to get some good sleep. I'm going to take me a sliver of this. Well, she went ahead and went into her room. And so I started cutting this little sliver. I started cutting this little sliver and I tasted it and it was so good. It tasted really, really good. And I was like, oh, well, if I'm a little bit bigger than my friend, so I can have a little bit more than a sliver. So I literally took not a full little sliver again, but probably half of that. So after that, I went to sleep, went in the room and went to sleep. My husband and our friends, they were kind of all around doing anything. But again, I had just gotten through driving and I went to sleep. So the next part of the story is where it takes a turn. And it takes a turn for the worse. So going to sleep, I was fine. I wasn't feeling anything. And so when I woke up, there was like a loud noise, like a bang. And so being half asleep, I sat up in the bed. All right. But in real life, my body did this. So I was sitting up, but my body was doing. And I looked to the left and it was like. In my mind, I felt like I was trapped in my body. Sorry not to laugh, but I'm sure people that consume marijuana on a regular basis, you know what I'm talking about. Heard a loud boom, sat up in the bed, and in my head, I felt like I was trapped in my body. Like there was a high version of me, and there was a not high version of me. And so the high version of me started freaking out. The unhigh version of me was like, oh no, you're high. And so, I don't know what the noise was, but I do know that I didn't want my husband to know that I was high. So I thought in my mind, the normal me that was trapped inside the high me was like, just go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Just go back to sleep. Started to go into paranoia. I started going to paranoia. One thing I forgot to mention is in the suite that we were in, or the master bedroom, there was a huge, beautiful jetted tub, but one of the jets were broke, or maybe the jetting system was broke. And Quentin being diligent, my husband being diligent, he called the Airbnb host and he asked him to come out and fix it. When I sleep, I usually don't have clothes on. So I would sleep in the room without any clothes on, but I had the covers on me. And my husband just let this man walk on in, and my high self started tripping right there. So he let the guy in the room. I'm high as in the bed, no clothes on. And this man's coming to fix the tub, which it's in the bathroom, but it's still in the room where I am at. So I'm like under the covers, like, what the hell? And so then my paranoid thoughts started coming. I was like, what if these Airbnb people broke the tub on purpose so they could come in and rob and kill us? So yeah, I started having my paranoid state of, what if these people, the Airbnb people, are like killers and they sent this man for this broken tub so we could get killed? So then, I don't know if this is normal, if you partake in edibles, if you partake in Mary Jane, let me know. Because my hands started to burn. my hands started to burn and my feet started to burn. My heart was like pounding and like the room was spinning. I felt like I was about to throw up. And that actually scared me too. So it just like me not feeling good just kind of increased my paranoia even that much more. Did not like that. So anyways, I'm sweating under the cover. I'm paranoid as hell. The next set of paranoia thoughts come. The guy finally leaves from the tub. I don't know if he fixed it or not, but I know he left. He left. He's done. And so I'm in the room alone under the cover, sweating, everything, like my palms and my feet are itching. I'm having paranoid thoughts. So then the second set of paranoid thoughts come, and it was my friend. I started getting paranoid about her. So my friend got the edibles for me, but I kind of felt like the people that made the edibles, like, because my hands were itching and I was sweating and I was like nauseous and the room was spinning, I was like, what if they put what if they laced my edible? What if they knew this edible was coming to me? And what if they laced my edible because it was me? Like, did they put crack in this? Did they put crack? Did they put crack in my edible? So yeah, those were the thoughts that I was having under the cover, high as sweating, dizzy, nauseous, trying to pretend that I wasn't high for my husband who don't like people that don't like it, well, don't want to wipe that smokes weed. So I started having like these thoughts that these people laced this stuff with crack. And I was about to be some turned out something in South Padre from this edible. These 1.5 slivers of edible. So then I think I was like in and out of sleep. I was too high. And I think I was in and out of sleep. And then again, there's a on the door. And so this one was like a forceful one. The first one was loud, but this one was like forceful. And what this was some of my husband's, like the friends that we came down to see. And they were coming over to the house to say hi, to say, hey, you're in town. We're all here for an event. And yeah, hey, you're in town. But my high butt was like, oh, they're here to rob us and kill us. And again, I'm in the bed sweating and shaking and in and out of sleep and itching. Like, I just felt like I had some meth or some heroin or something. And I was so paranoid. And they were giving them like a tour that, like, I could hear everything because the house was really quiet because there was nothing going on. So I could hear everybody's conversations and I could hear them like giving the tour of a house. I'm like, why would you let these people walk around the house? They're here to kill us. I'm just in the bed alone, paranoid, schizophrenic. I don't know. But I was alone and I was scared. So fast forward, the friends ended up leaving. I ended up just keep falling in and out of a sweaty, hot mess sleep. Sweaty, hot mess sleep, just falling in and out of it. And then finally, I was just telling myself, like, I just kept the inner me, the one that knew that I was okay, kept saying, just go to sleep, just go to sleep, just go to sleep. And so that's what I was trying to do. And I just kept going in and out of sleep. And so when my husband would come in the room, he would like try to talk to me. And it just felt like everything was delayed. It'd be like, he'd be like, hey, are you okay? And I felt like it took me so long to say, yeah, yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. Just sleepy. Like, it just felt like everything was on this big, like the time was not right. And so then I just kept acting like I was asleep and or being asleep. And my friend kept coming in the room and asking my husband, is she okay? And I just had a feeling like, she know what she gave me. She know what she gave me. So to make a long story short, I did fall asleep and I had some good sleep after all that ordeal. And yeah, so finally I fell asleep, had some good sleep. When I finally woke up the last time, it had worn down. I was still very much high, but it had worn down to like a manageable level where I wasn't paranoid anymore. It was just more like, hurry up and don't be high no more. And so me and all the girls ended up getting in a car to go somewhere. I don't know if we're getting food or what. But I told my friend, I was like, those was not it hinty. Like, no. So she was like, I told you, only do a sliver. And I was like, you right. You did tell me to only do a sliver. And I thought because I'm bigger, I could just have some more. But the rest of the trip was great. It was an awesome time. I did not have any more of those. But like all good horror stories, they never end. South Padre, I don't know if it borders Mexico. But on the way back home, on the drive back home, we had to go through border security. I don't know what it's called, but it's, you basically have to tell where you're going, dogs sniff your car. And so it just kept saying border patrol or border. It kept giving us like a warning like every few seconds. And by the time my husband knew and had some things in her bag, and he told her to throw them out the window. So it was so funny just seeing her ball these things up and just so yeah, thank God we got the weed out the car. Thank God that trip only lasted a little while. And thank God I don't mess with edibles anymore. But anywho, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you want to share it too. And I will see y'all next time.